Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be how I make my thumbnails for YouTube. So I've gotten quite a few questions from you guys about what apps I use or what fonts I use. So today I'm just going to be walking you guys through step by step how I make my thumbnails for YouTube. And I actually do this on my phone, so all you are going to need is 3 free apps, so you don't have to pay a lot of money for a fancy computer editing software that's difficult to use. This is great for beginners or just great for anyone who wants to make thumbnails a little bit easier, because I know I've seen some of these tutorials and they make them super confusing. So this is a very easy way to make your thumbnails for YouTube, so let's just get started. The first thing that I do when I'm making a thumbnail for YouTube is obviously take the thumbnail. So I know it sounds pretty self-explanatory, but I like to take a bunch of different thumbnail photos in a variety of locations, and I like to do a variety of different poses in my thumbnails. The reason for this is because it can be a huge pain when you're going to edit your thumbnail and you realize you only took one option and you hate that option. So I like to take multiple different options so that whenever I am editing, I can just pick the one I like the best. The other thing that I don't recommend doing is just taking a screenshot from your video. I recommend actually sitting down and taking a thumbnail photo that you have planned out, because it's really difficult to try to get a good thumbnail from a screenshot in the video. I've been there when I forgot to take a thumbnail photo and I've just tried to take a screenshot and it is a pain. So to save yourself the hassle later, I recommend just taking a photo or a couple different photos right before you film the video. Okay, now for the editing portion, I just import the photo that I selected into Lightroom, which is a completely free app, and I'm actually going to use a present pack to add the filter onto my thumbnail. However, if you do not want to pay money for a present pack, I am going to be showing a free filter as well that I was actually using on all of my thumbnails for a really long time. I actually just bought the present pack and I've only had it for like the last 4 thumbnails or something, so I definitely have been using this filter for quite a while. So it still is a very good filter. So I'm going to show you guys both options. So for the presents, I actually have the Content Bugs YouTube Thumbnail Present Pack, which was $22, I believe. You get 5 presents. So you get YouTube Bold, YouTube Cool, YouTube Cooler, Natural, and Warm. So I'm going to go through and pick which one I like the best. I actually think I like Warm the best. Yes, I think I'm gonna select Warm, and then it's really handy because I already have the filter all already done. Sometimes I will adjust it, but I actually really like how this present makes this photo look, so I think I'm just going to leave it. If you guys do want to download this present pack, I will have the link down below in the description box if you want to go check it out. It's really great and easy to use. So you get 5 presents and a tutorial on how to download these presents. So I will have the link down below in the description again if you do want to go and check it out, if you are looking for some filters for your thumbnails and you're sick and tired of making them, because I know I was really tired of having to put way too much work into adjusting my thumbnails and everything like that and the filters. So I decided to download this. Yeah, and so now I'm going to export it because that is all I have to do for the filter part. But I will show you guys what I like to do if you do not have a present pack. So basically it depends from photo to photo. I generally don't have like certain numbers that I do for everything. Like I don't have a number for exposure and brightness and all that stuff, because every photo is different and the lighting in every photo is different. So I kind of like I like to keep it all kind of in one look, but I do like to change up the numbers a little bit because again, the photos, it's going to depend. So I usually like to make my thumbnail photos fairly bright, as you guys can probably tell from my channel. So for the light part, I just go in there and then I will put the exposure up a little bit just to make it a little bit brighter. The contrast, I like to experiment with the contrast on both sides to see what I like better, and usually I will end up bringing it down just a little bit. And then the highlights, because I do like to make it nice and bright, I really only adjust this a little bit and I just bring it down just a smidge. Alright, then for the color section, I just turn the temperature down a fair amount because I do generally like to have them a little bit bluer, I guess, if that makes sense. I know it's not blue, but it's more on the blue side. I'm terrible at describing things. And then that is all I do for that. And then the nice thing about the Lightroom app is you can hold down and see the before and after. So this is the before and after so far. And then I don't usually do anything to the effects here. Sometimes I will sharpen it just a smidge if I think it looks good. And that is basically all I do for the free filter. So basically, generally for the most part, I just adjust the exposure, contrast, and highlights, and then I'll also adjust the temperature of the photo. But I like to keep it pretty simple, and I just like to do whatever I think is going to look good in the photo. The next thing that I'm going to do in terms of editing is open up my thumbnail into Facetune. So then I go to retouch and then the whiten feature. So I know the whiten feature is generally used on whitening teeth. However, I like to use it to whiten the background of my photos because, like I did mention before, I like to have them very bright. So I will just go around, and I know it doesn't look like it's whitening some areas, but it is. It's just they're already kind of bright. So I just go around and whiten the entire background of the photo so that it is nice and bright. Okay, now that that is done, I'm going to take this little dial and figure out like how bright I actually want it, because this is like pretty bright. Like that's a little bit too bright in my opinion. And it's just going to depend on the photo. Again, a lot of this stuff is very dependent on the photo because some photos will have a brighter background than others, and some will have a darker background that require more editing. But normally I have mine between like 45 and 50 usually, depending on the photo. So here I'm going to put it at 45 or 44, I guess. And then I'm going to scroll all the way over to the defocus section. So I actually like to blur out my entire background just because then I feel like it focuses on whatever you're trying to show, whether it be you or something else in your thumbnail. And as you can see, the background can be a little bit distracting sometimes, so I like to just blur all of that out because it makes it more eye-catching in my opinion. So normally I will just use the auto feature just because usually that gets it pretty good. But as you can see, like it's not the best. Like I kind of blurred out my entire arm, so I just take the erase feature and then I just erase the parts that I need to be in focus, obviously, because it also defocused my phone. Normally it actually does a lot better job than this, the auto feature. Like normally I hardly even have to fix anything. Like normally I don't even have to fix anything at all. But apparently today when I'm trying to film, it's defocusing everything it's not supposed to. So basically you just go around with a little eraser. It's not that hard to fix. And then you just refocus everything. So once you have that to your liking, you can see the before and after. So this is my before, the features from Facetune, and this is the after, which as you can see, it looks a lot better, it's a lot brighter, and it focuses on me quite a bit more. It draws the attention to what I'm trying to get you guys to look at in my thumbnails, which is what you want to do if you want to increase your views and increase your people that are clicking on your videos. You want them to be looking at what you're trying to get them to look at, not looking at something in the background, I guess, if that makes sense. So then I'm just going to save that to my camera roll, and then I'm going to go into my last app. Now I have got my photo imported into Fonto, and now I need to think about what text I want to put on my video. So you kind of want to think of text, like this is really the part where it's going to be about getting more views. Because you're going to want to have words on your title that are short and sweet and are going to get people to click on your video. Obviously in the actual titling of your video, you are going to want to have like more descriptive words about what the video is about. But on your thumbnail, you want to keep it very short and sweet, like a couple words maybe, because when people are watching YouTube on their phones, it is relatively small, so if you pack it full of words, nobody's going to be able to read the words, and it's going to kind of suck and it's going to be pointless. So you want to have just a couple keywords. So you want to pick out the very few keywords that your video is actually about, and the words, I guess, that you think are going to attract the most people to watch your videos, and put that on the thumbnails. So I'm probably going to talk more about like the fact that I am making thumbnails for free on my phone, because a lot of people like easy and free. So I'm probably going to add that somewhere on my thumbnail, but I'm going to kind of play around a little bit with titles and see which one I like best. Then I'm going to take the stroke and add it up to about 9 or 10. And then I'm going to go to style and bring the alpha on the shadows up all the way and bring the blur down quite a bit. And then I'm going to change the spacing. So I might make the letters a little bit closer. And I always hate how far apart the words are between the lines. So I'll just bring that quite a bit closer together. And then I want to add a background. Usually I like to add a background to the text that is similar to the color of my shirt. So this dark red. But then usually I will change it up a little bit so that it matches a tiny bit better. So here I'm just adjusting the colors so it works a little bit better. And then I'm going to take the alpha and move it down quite a bit to about maybe 78 because I like to have it a little bit faded. And then I need to find a place for this text. So I need to make it a little bit smaller. And then I think I'm going to tilt it. This is kind of an awkward thumbnail for text. I did not really do a good job when I actually took the photo. So then I am probably going to put that right there. I think I like that. Okay, I think I like that. Okay guys, so that is going to be all for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing how I make my YouTube thumbnails. My next video is actually going to be how I film and edit my YouTube videos. So if you guys want to see a little bit more behind the scenes on how I do that, that video will be coming next. If there were any questions that you guys had for me that I did not answer, feel free to leave them down below in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. I wanted to show you guys this was the before I edited the thumbnail, and then this is the final product. So that is the entire process on how I get from there to there. I feel like it turned out actually very, very nicely. I really like this thumbnail actually. So I really hope that this did help you guys and answered some of your questions, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!